Okay, welcome. My name is Rick Cook. I prefer to go by Rick. If that makes you uncomfortable, I certainly go by Professor as well, Professor Cook. Um, I was a high school principal for about 10 years, and so when you say Mr. Cook, it gives me flashbacks of busting kids for smoking pot in the parking lot and supervising uh, basketball games, two nightmarish activities I don't want to relive. Enjoyed my time as a principal, but I lean into my work as a professor. It's actually what I've done my entire educational career, and that's where I'm at now. This video uh, has two goals. First, I want to make sure it's the right class with the right professor at the right time in your life. It's really important that you are choosing to take this class for the right reasons because it's very difficult. I am not for everybody. I know that about myself. And you got to make sure that what's required in this class you can give during this time, particularly in a late start scenario where instead of 16 weeks, you got to take the class in 14 weeks. It's all the same material. You just have to do it faster, which is really challenging. So first, is this the right class? This class is designed to offer you transferable skills. So what matters in this class is not that you did the assignments and that you accumulated enough points. What matters is that you have the skills you need by the end of the class to write successfully in college and your career without me. So this means, is your content insightful? Is your organization clear? Is your style concise? And is your writing mechanically correct? And this is a class that's about developing a skill. It's really important to keep going back to that, and that theme will play a role both in this video and in the course. This class is about real writing. Most high schoolers have not done any real writing. Most high schoolers have told an audience what the audience already knows. If you had to write about To Kill a Mockingbird or Huckleberry Finn, most likely you faked reading it. Maybe you used some AI. Maybe you wrote authentically, but I doubt you told the English teacher anything they didn't already know about their favorite book. Real writing has a purpose, and the purpose of real writing is to expose insights about a topic. That's what all writing does, and that's why writing is the currency of academia. To really write, you have to have an extended revision process. It can't be done in a short time frame. How strong can you make 3 writing projects with 14 weeks to work on them, not 16? So this isn't stuff that you can write the night before. It's extremely high standards. Most Americans cannot write at this level. Most Americans don't get a 4-year degree, and that's what this class is about, preparing you to earn a bachelor's degree. That's what it's supposed to do in terms of your writing skill. It does presume some things. It presumes you can write complete sentences and follow basic grammar rules, that you can read for information, you can organize a basic essay, and you can use technology to write, read, and research. We're going to be going over all kinds of ways to do that more critically, to do that in a more advanced way at the college level. But most students can't already write like this. Most of you will be lucky to have, I shouldn't say lucky, most of you will not be able to write at the C level on your first essay. Thankfully, that's okay, because your last essay grade replaces your earlier grades. I want your grade to reflect what you can do at the end of this class, not at the beginning. It's called evidence-based grading. It's very common in high schools and certainly across the writing composition world. But you got to recognize that right now where you're at is not good enough, and you're committing to the next 14 weeks to trying to figure that out. I want to make sure I'm the right professor for you. I am not a teacher, I'm a writer. When you go to college and you take a math class, it's from someone who has not had a single education class. They're a mathematician. I don't have to take a single education class to teach this. I don't need a teaching certificate. I need to be a writer. And I approach it like that. You are choosing to work on writing over the next 14 weeks, and I'm going to give you some guidance because I've been teaching for 25 years and writing for about 35 years. I believe that college isn't for everyone. I don't know that everyone in this class should be here. College has a really high dropout rate, and that's not because I fail people. It's because people figure out this isn't the right path. Everyone can do this. They just don't all choose to do so. And that's okay. As a writer, I know that writing is never done. It is just due. So I will never say in my comments, this is done, this is all over. I will always point out ways it can improve because I know that about writing, about my own work. I really embrace the process. It's messy. You need to throw out things. Conversation is a really valuable part of it. You have to get lots of feedback, but I also know as a writing instructor, I can't give too much feedback or else the work becomes about me. I certainly don't mark everything that needs to be fixed. I know that real writing can't be rushed. I know that if you try to write something at the last minute, that's exactly what it'll feel like reading it. Robert Frost has a famous quote about writing. He says, "No tears in the writer, no tears in the reader." And what I meant by that is what you're feeling as you're writing is what your reader will feel. So when you were writing about To Kill a Mockingbird and you thought this was the dumbest thing in the world and you were just trying to get it done the next day or for the next day or the next hour, and you knew it was terrible and you turned it in anyways, that's exactly what the teacher felt reading it, if they even did read it. I'm not interested in prisoner writing. Okay, you are not in prison. You are not forced to be in this class. You are not forced to do the assignments. I'm not interested in reading things that you feel compelled to do. And my effort really matches yours. When I got a student that's trying everything, that's contacting me a lot, my effort will match theirs. If you don't do anything in this class, I won't either, and that's kind of the joy of college. So is this the right time in your life? It's a 4-hour class. College guidance gives us that's supposed to be 6 to 8 hours outside of class, and that's a minimum. I mean, most of the work you're going to do is going to be writing, and in my experience, there are many high schoolers who have not spent a lot of time writing. You're going to think all the time, you're going to ask tons of questions, and you're going to cultivate a relationship with your peers. Even though we're in an online class, you're going to get put in a writing group, and those kids are going to read your work and give you tons of feedback, and there's a ton of value to that. You got to take the time to throw out bad ideas. The biggest thing about is this the right time? Is this the right time in your life to treat writing as a real task? If you're only writing to complete the assignment, that's your only motivation, you're going to do poorly. If you're motivated to tell us something we don't know about a topic, to expose something for your reader, you're going to do well in this class. Thankfully, you get to pick what you want to write about. So as much as possible, we create those conditions. Okay, a bunch of the classes in D2L, which you already were able to get to if you were able to get to this welcome video. Our D2L page, I keep D2L for the following things. I put announcements. And then this is the way you access the weekly sheet, and this is where you do the discussions, and this is also where you will be able to find your grades. So those are the things that you can find on D2L. Everything else for the class is either on a Google Doc or in a Google Classroom. So the Google Doc is this weekly sheet, which you can find through D2L, and these are links to all of your assignments. Every week, you have stuff to read and watch, and then you usually post something to the discussion boards, and you do a quiz, a week 1 response, a weekly response. You notice it's only highlighted 1 week out because I don't put those out there too early, but you will always be able to see them before the week starts. So as you start reading and watching this stuff, you can go look at what these questions are. So you know what to look for as you're reading and watching. And so there's your week 1 response. You got to get it all right to get the points. It's all just regurgitating information that's in there. It's really pointing you to what's important in each section. So you'll post your work as we go through an essay, the process of an essay. You'll post the different steps and get feedback from each other and sometimes from me. But then you'll turn it all into me, and you turn it all into me in Google Classroom. The way you get to your Google Classroom, there is in the announcement, there's a link and the join code. So that's how you can get to it. I'm going to get to it because I've got it linked here. In the Google Classroom is where you will put all your assignments. So here's where you put your final drafts, and I give you comments. Here's where you put the Essay 3 stuff, and I'll give you comments and your final reflection letter. I like using Google products when students are giving me work because of all the collaborative functions in the Google Suite. So that lines up for you what you got to do every week. And it's fast. I mean, when I put this together, I was like, wow, it's hard to do this class in 14 weeks. I've done it before. I've had students be really successful, but you really have to work hard. It is definitely more of a challenge doing it like this. So I covered the weekly sheet in Google Classroom. Syllabus highlights. All right, so let's go to the syllabus. Basic information, contact information, the readings. What we read in here are almost always models of expository writing. So there are types of expository writing. You will do a single kind of writing in this class. It's expository essays. You will write 3 of them. It's the same assignment each time. The only difference is the first one has no sources, the second one has 1 source, and the third one has 3 sources. It's the same assignment every time. Notice that it becomes worth much more of your grade. The last essay is worth 40%, and the grade on this assignment can replace the grade of Essay 1 and Essay 2. So in reality, the last essay can become 60% of your grade. The other 30% is all did you do it or not stuff. Responses, no trick questions. If you read it, you can do it. Discussions. If you do the discussions, you do it. You got to complete all the work to earn those points. The last thing in the class worth 10% is a reflection due on the last day of the class, and those are in there. Couple of points, a couple of important policies. I don't accept any late work. If you're going to be late because of an emergency, which should happen very rarely, contact me, be an adult about it. Got to write about 4,000 words over 4 projects to pass the class. So the 4 projects are the 3 essays and that last letter of reflection. You have to do all steps of the writing process. So I have to see expository questions, outlines, drafts. You can't turn in something I hadn't seen before. AI is not going to be acceptable. Read these keys to success. I don't want to go over it in the video because you can read it yourselves. And there's my office hours. The other document to look at is this welcome letter. So it goes into depth more about who should take the class and why, and how it's structured and how you'll be successful. The quiz the first week covers material in this video and in this letter and on the syllabus. So I want to make sure you know how the class is supposed to work. So I put it in multiple ways in multiple places, and I make you responsible for it. So no late work. You got to complete all the weekly work to get the points. If you're not doing the work, that's why you're not passing. All steps of the writing process must be completed. You got to write around 4,000 words. You can revise essays up until the last turn-in date. So I allow you to keep working on Essay 3 right up to the end of the class. I highly prefer that you contact me through text or my Google email, not through D2L. So please use my Google email. Those are the fastest ways to get a hold of me, and I try to respond right away. And you can never contact me too much. Don't worry about hours. If I'm in bed, I won't respond. I just turn my phone on silent anyways. So I really look forward to this class. I don't have to teach to work. I do this voluntarily. I work at I teach classes for Ferris State University at the Wilson Talent Center. and I teach classes at LCC. So all I do is teach college writing, teach this course, and I don't have to. I do this by choice, and I really enjoy it. So I invite you to take this opportunity to learn a lot about writing. I've never made anyone learn anything, but I've guided thousands of students towards being better able to express themselves and actually really write, many of them for the first time in their lives. So after reviewing this video, you need to go to the weekly sheet and get started on these tasks. I would do them in order. So read that welcome letter, join the classroom, start reading these. There's a student survey to do, look at the syllabus, a bunch of videos about about expository writing, the kind of writing that we're doing, finding topics, everything you need to do to be successful in the last two tasks for the week. So the class runs Monday to Sunday. So this is stuff you have to complete by midnight. It's always by 11:59 on the day of the due date. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to the semester, and I hope you do too.